In my annual mammogram that I have once a year, a lump was found then. And of course, then I got the news from the doctor that it was something that we needed to look further into. And once we did look into it and I had my surgery, the doctors determined that it was a level 2, stage 2 cancer. And I decided at that moment that I would like to go as aggressive as I can with my treatments. And they said, you know, if I could go aggressive, then I would have a 92% chance in 10 years or so that I would still be cancer-free and everything would be going fine for me. So I decided, hey, let's go aggressive because I would like to be here, you know, in 10 years.
After the surgery, Robin and Ken were faced with the decision of where to go for cancer treatment. Time after time, they were given the same advice: the John B. Amos Cancer Center.
When we first found out and we started, like I mentioned before, being real proactive, we asked a lot of questions with a lot of friends and other family members who had gone through similar experiences, and we looked at other opinions, other institutions, to tell you the truth, other centers. And those centers actually, when they found out we were in Columbus, said, why would you leave Columbus? We've heard that time and time again. During our treatments, we've met several folks in the waiting rooms and the infusion center and so forth from out of town, and they either make a day of it or have to spend the night and make arrangements. It really puts their world at a standstill for that, and it's time consuming enough, but it's very, very fortunate for us to have the facility here.
It's been many months now. When I first met Robin, when she came in that first day with her initial diagnosis of breast cancer, like all the other cancer patients, very nervous, very anxious, wanting to know what she's going to be facing over the coming months. And it's just been a very much of a pleasure working with Robin during this time. She's done very well with treatment. She's been very proactive, taking part in her health care. She's kept a great attitude. She's been a good example for the other patients, a joy to work with from the staff, and that has really helped her with her treatment and really helps us, her physicians, her nurses, all the other folks that are working with her, to keep going, to see them coming in from that first day when they're so nervous, now to be able to laugh and joke and continue on with their daily activities and fighting the cancer and winning the battle.
State-of-the-art technology at the John B. Amos Cancer Center contributed to Robin's physical healing, but it was the support of her spouse and friends who healed her emotionally and kept her strong.
You know, here's Robin with the diagnosis. She's the one that's having to go through all this, and I remember we were talking one night and she literally said, listen, we're just going to have to man up and get through this. You know, people overcome it all the time. I think, you know, just keeping a positive attitude and as far as my role was just being one of support, you know, and understanding and trying to be there.
Of course, I've had a huge support network, and it all began with my husband, Ken. He has been behind me in whatever decision I would make. He's been behind me 100%. Also, I've had this support group called the Boobsters, and they have been just so supportive through all of this. They would cheer me up on my down days. And each of my treatments, my last 12 treatments, I would have one of them come pick me up for my treatment, take me to the cancer center, and sit with me until Ken could arrive, and then he would pick me up and take me home. But there were so many times we would sit up there and laugh and just carry on. They would take tremendous, just wonderful care of me. So I can honestly say I have just been truly blessed by my support network, and that's what's kept me going through all of this.
Everybody always asks me, how can you do working with cancer patients? Isn't that just a terrible job? And I tell them every day I love coming to work. Patients like her, they're so encouraging. You know, they think that we're trying to keep them going, but they're really keeping us going at the same time. She is very, very upbeat and very positive, and that does spread into us. And again, then we can take that on to the next patients and encourage them as well.
This is something that can be conquered. It's not something that you need to let yourself get down on. It's something you do have to keep a positive attitude. And thanks to the John B. Amos Cancer Center, with all of their nurses and doctors that are just always been there for me, that has helped me through all of this. And now I'm done with my chemotherapy. I'm into radiation. I've had 11 treatments of radiation, and I have 22 more treatments to go. And I'm going to be at 92%. So, you know, just do not let somebody else's case stop you from being tested. So I truly advise anybody to go out and please be tested at least once a year or so.